I had this, somebody called me, they booked tickets for themselves and their whole family. They found based on some dance deal thing, $17 tickets to Hawaii. They're like, we're going to Hawaii. And then it's the day before and they called me up and they said, I just found out that there's some Dateline question about Hawaii. Does that mean I can't go with my whole family? What would you say to such a question?
When are you leaving and when are you coming? If it's a Monday through Thursday trip, it's okay. Let's try to minimize the question.
Right.
If you had to be there over, Shabbos itself, I really wouldn't want to be in that situation. There is a question as to where the Halachic Date Line is. There was an international convention about where to put the international date line. We know where that is, but that doesn't have any real bearing on halacha. And there's machlokas between Chazon Ish and Rav Tukachinsky from Jerusalem. This machlokas happened in the early 1940s when the European refugees ended up in Japan on their way to China. About what day was Yom Kippur, what day was Shabbos. So the Chazon Ish opined, based on his understanding of Mishnah and the Gemara, that the date line was actually just west of Japan, and Shabbos should be observed in Japan on Sunday. It was a novelty to a lot of people. I mean, it was kind of a new shiloh because there wasn't really no Gaia people until then.
Right.
And Rav Tukachinsky put the date line much further east, and according to him, the date line runs like right through Alaska and just on the right outside Hawaii, which would make Hawaii Shabbos on a Friday.
Wow.
So since it's a doubt as to when Shabbos would be, if you can avoid it, I recommend avoiding it. I actually was asked this question maybe 25 years ago. There are a bunch of people who wanted to book a kosher cruise, and they asked me what should they do. What is going to go on Shabbos. So I didn't want to tell them not to. So I went to Rabbi Hershel Schachter, and he told me straight out that he would not recommend doing it for this reason.
I was speaking to Rabbi Starashevsky, who's one of the RCs here, and I think it was the only time I ever saw him not smiling. And I said, what's going on? So he said, I am going to a place in northern Denmark, I think it was. And because of the time of the year, there was no sunset, I believe. Did poskim recommend not going to those places also because of Zmanim issues?
Yes, there's actually Rabbi Yaakov Emden talks about this. The child was brought to him about going to Scandinavia in the summer months. What do you do about Shabbos? There's no sunrise, no sunset. So there are a lot of different eitzes given by the poskim. But to be frank, none of them really make you too comfortable. And the Rabbi Yaakov Emden actually suggests to avoid going to these places because of this reason.
Wow.